What's poppin', y'all? It looks like Halle Bailey has a lot of time on her hands on that set in Italy for the new movie she's filming, because she's making sure to keep tabs on DDG and on top of that, to make sure that she continues to make his life a living hell. Because on June 20th, she filed for custody of their son, Halle, and it says right here, and she filed for full custody. She says, request DV prevention with minor child filed by petitioner on May 13th, 2025. And then it says the following parties are present for the aforementioned proceeding: Daryl Granberry, which is DDG, Daryl Dwayne, that's his name. And then the matter is called for hearing. The court notes petitioner. Yeah, so this was actually filed on May 13th. 2025, but it's continuing to June 26, 2025, and I believe there was supposed to be a hearing at some point this month. I don't know how that's going, but I do think the time for this is a little bit freaky, and freaky in terms of I don't know which side is the one that's pushing this. So is it her that she's dropping this right now, and that's why we're seeing it, or if it's DDG that's trying to gain not more sympathy points, but he's winning the online battle right now, because the duration, Halle Bailey doesn't have consistently active fans. Like, Halle Bailey has a wide audience base. A lot of people know about her, have a lot of awareness of her, follow her, and may even want her to win and believe her in this DDG situation. However, that is very, very different from somebody that's following you every single day, watching what you do on stream every single day, tweeting about you after you get off stream in a community about people that also watch your stream every single day. Those people are probably nonstop defending DDG. And that's why we get to see certain narratives forming. Like, for instance, when it was first filed and the TMZ stuff came out and it got posted on Shade Room, a lot of people in general were going at DDG. That's faded. And you can't sustain something like that unless you're throwing a lot of money consistently towards promotion, because people aren't invested in just supporting her just because, and they're not going to get numbers off of it. Whereas DDG, they're going to get numbers off of him. And it's not that he's worth talking about. That's like saying that Halle Bailey's not talented or doesn't have a skill. It is that DDG is so active and accessible, seemingly accessible, at least online, replying to people, etc., that it's easier to talk to him. It's like somebody that people know or know of. But with Halle Bailey, it's different. It's almost as if she's in like Rapunzel or somebody in the Grand Palace. And DDG was actually granted the right to see his kid, but there are some stipulations. The judge said she thinks it's reasonable for DDG to visit Halle in Italy, but that she'd require an independent monitor due to Bailey's concerns. The judge also said that if these visits are permitted, she'll put in place an order barring DDG from posting about the child on social media during that time frame. The lawyers are now looking into the availability of professional monitors in Rome, and they're set to return to court for further matter on Thursday, June 26th. DDG denies Bailey's DV claims and has filed a competing custody case of his own, claiming Bailey is actually the abuser in the relationship and has repeatedly threatened self-harm as a means of emotional manipulation. So DDG filed his own motion, or DDG's lawyers filed their own motion for sole custody. He's got no chance of winning this. If he wins this, it's like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. It's like Tory getting out next week, or hell, Diddy getting out scot-free, and that might age poorly. Well, it wouldn't age poorly. It would just be, hey, a miracle happened, so it looks like DDG has a chance to have a miracle as well. But in this scenario, I just don't see them. There are situations where the chick's she's got to be in. Halle Bailey would have to be on the street, a junkie, and incapable of having anything in her life in order for DDG to be able to get custody. I just don't see it happening any other way. But I do respect the attempt. And the thing is here, why this sucks for DDG is because they're telling him, hey, if you're going to come see your son in Italy, you're not allowed to work, because DDG's work is his life. There's integration there. Now, is DDG going to bring one? This is where I would say he's antagonizing. If DDG goes to Italy and he brings a chick with him to Italy, and he's streaming out there with the chick, and then he goes and sees the kid off stream with the mediator or whatever, and then he goes back to streaming, because he's not going to take a days or a week off from streaming. There's no way. The momentum's too high right now. And like I told y'all, DDG loves clout more than anything. Now, I'm not going to say more than his son. I don't know that. I'm not going to get into the person's family business, but he certainly loves clout. And he's not going to let the momentum that he has right now go away with days of not streaming. So, but if he brings the chick, you know he is digging it in Halle Bailey. And I mean like digging in the knife. Not the metaphorical one, not the one that Halle Bailey's carrying around. And I kind of got to respect it. Some people will say if he does do that, which I could see him doing, they're going to say, man, that's doing too much. You know, she's going through this and that. And don't nobody care what she's going through. He care what he's going through. And she's putting him through it. So he's going to make sure that she feels as much pain as possible. Because it's clear, I think we're starting to realize that this chick wanted him a lot more than he wanted her. I think he just wanted to keep things together. After we're seeing all of these texts, we're seeing her behavior afterwards. DDG's really chilling. We never saw DDG beg for this chick to come back to him in public. Even Ruby Rose was getting better treatment than her in public from what we've seen. And better treatment as in there was a lot more desire that DDG had for Ruby Rose or even this new chick, India Love, which I do think it's a business arrangement that is eventually will turn into something between them, because she's not going to spend that much time around the guy and not start to like him. That's just the nature of the game. That's how it works. Proximity, frequency, come on now. With that being said, though, in DDG's scenario, I think he really was with this chick to try to elevate his rap career. I think he was trying to use her as like this Jay-Z, Beyonce type of deal. He's like, okay, she just got put on by Beyonce, her and her sister, they're hot. Let me get on there. Maybe that'll bring up my clout profile in other avenues. And then now DDG realized, man, I don't care about getting popping in that type of industry. I'm lit where I'm at, so I don't even need her anymore. And if that's the case, I don't think he would ever admit this publicly, because that would be wild to admit, especially like about your child's mother in a public setting. That's something vicious. Well, we're going to continue to see more developments and paperwork being tossed from one side to the other between DDG and Halle Bailey. But really, it's about what's the content that's going to come out of this. Is he going to pull up to Italy to see his son? Or is he going to say, man, you know what? Like, my son can wait. That's the real question. And this is also another thing why Halle Bailey makes this difficult for everybody, because she's going to Italy. Now the U.S. judge, they've got to figure out somebody that can monitor this and is licensed to monitor this in Rome. Imagine getting chaperoned to see your own son. That's crazy. You're the adult and you got to get a chaperone to see the minor. Oh my God. Hey, could never be me. That little kid gonna have to grow up and then come see me later. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm see y'all on the next one.